Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everyone. This is lecture number 4. In the last lecture, we discussed comparison, also called the relational operators, where we compare the relation of two numbers or two variables. If it is true, then it returns true, otherwise it returns false. Today, we discuss about the logical operators. So logical operators are used to join two or more conditions and give one answer, either true or false. Just like in English, we say this and that, this or that, or not this. So there are three types of logical operators as can be seen here: the AND operator, OR operator, and NOT operator. So what is the meaning of AND operator? It means both must be true. Simply all condition must be correct. So if all the conditions are correct, then the answer is true. Otherwise, the answer is false. Similarly, we have another operator that is OR. So in case of OR, at least one should be true. If one is true, any condition, we say any condition is enough or met. So in that case, it will return true. And the third operator is the NOT operator. It reverses the results. True becomes false and false become true. So let's have some numerical examples. So for example, the equation for force is equal to m multiplied by a. Now, the force will be non-zero if A is greater than 0 and M is also greater than 0. So we can write it like, for example, M equals to 2 and A equals to, for example, 5. So we print the result and the result will tell us whether both the conditions are met or they are not met. So we check if m is greater than 0 and a and d, and a is greater than 0. So you understand print command is used to show the results. So here we are condition checking the condition. Okay, so and means if both are true, the output should result true. So we see the output is true because m is actually greater than 0 and a is also greater than 0. If any one of them is 0, so for example, if m equals to 0 and a equals to, for example, 5, if we print and check m is greater than 0 and a is greater than 0. So you understand for the ending, the keyword for is A and D. So you must be very careful while selecting this one because we need to use the small n. So small n means it checks this one and this one. Is if both are 0, both conditions are met, in that case, the output will be true. So otherwise it will be false because in this particular case, m is not greater than 0, so we should get false. Similarly, for example, we have the marking criteria. So, for example, marks are more than 80, and we also have the sports quota, sports underscore quota is equal to, for example, 1. Now, print marks greater than 80 or sports quota equals to 1. So you have done this one, these operators. You understand that in the previous lecture, we talked about these operators, which are called the relational operators. So you understand that in this particular case, marks greater than 0. Okay, so for example, marks are equal to 0 and quota equals to 1. To 1, in that case, it should give true because although marks are not greater than 0, this will return false. Okay, and this will return true. So if I or true with false, it should give the true, because in case of or we say if this or this. Now, although marks are not greater than 0, but because quota is equal to 1, so in that case it should return true. Let's take the third example on not. So let's check. Sorry. So for example, we have force equals to 5. Now print f equal to equal to 5. So you see it will give true, but because I am want to take show you the answer for not, so in that case we find false. You understand why false? Because is f equals to 5, so of course it will return true, but not means to invert it, so it will invert the result. Let's take this another example. Say again f equals to 5 and I want to check the result. Print, I write not f equals to say 10. So you understand f is not equal to 10. These conditions you have done in the previous lecture. So you understand f basically is not equal to 10. So it will return false. But because I am taking the uh, not of the result, so it will give me true. So hopefully it gives you the idea of these three operators, logical operators, that is and, or, and not. In case of and, both condition has to be met in order to produce the true answer. Whereas in case of or, any condition is true, the output will be true. And in case of not, if the condition is met, like here, the condition is met, the result is true. So not basically inverts it. So we get the inverted. So because here we are checking if f equals to 5. So of course, f is not equal to 10. The result is false. Now we are taking not of the false. So it will give us the true value. So let's take another example and we say, is student pass or he is not pass? So let's first use the input from the keyboard. So for example, uh, marks equal to float, and then we use the input. Okay, and we say enter marks. So these are the marks, and then we say input attendance. So for example, attendance equals to float input, enter attendance of the student, right? So enter attendance, and this is okay, right? And then we put the condition print marks either greater than or equal to, for example, 50, and attendance is greater than or equal to 75. So let me correct the spelling here. Attendance. Okay. So if the attendance is if the marks are equal to or greater than 50 and attendance is equal to or greater than 50. So you understand that we are combining the two conditions here, that marks should be greater than 50 and attendance should be equal to or greater than 75. So let's run the code. So we enter the marks. For example, marks are 85. Okay, and so there's a, okay, I wrote the wrong spelling. So you must be very careful about the spellings. The name, the function name should have the same spelling, okay? Even if I write F capital, it will have some problem. So let's rerun. For example, marks are 85, and then we put the attendance is, for example, 80. So we see that both the conditions are met, so it will return true. So hopefully this gives you the idea of how to use the true. So to summarize, logical operators are used to combine conditions. They always return true or false, just like the comparison or relational operators. If all condition in case of and, we need to have all the condition true. The second logical operator is or, and in case of or, at least one condition must be true. And similarly, the third logical operator is the not operator. So in case of not operator, it reverses the results. If it is already true, if I write not true, then it will make it false. Similarly, if I say not false, so it will make it true. So we use these built-in functions, that is print to display the output, input to take input from the user, and float to convert the input into decimal numbers. Now, your homework is to write a program that takes two numbers from the user and prints true if both numbers are positive, otherwise print false. So you understand the built-in function you use will be input, float, and because you are comparing both the numbers, so you use the AND operator. So it will check if uh, number one is true and number two is also true. So they will give you true when they are positive. So to check the positive, you understand, you will use the greater sign. So numbers are positive if they are equal to or greater than 0. So that's all from my side. See you in the next class.